time to dance. Ecclesiastes 3, chapter 3, verse 1 through 4.
Thank you, Noel. And additionally, I'd like to read to you, if you have the flyer which is at the back there, and it says the picture of Brother George, and you can read with me silently at the back, because I believe, and the family believe, that this is the message that Brother George wants to say to all of us. And I want to read it with the permission of the family. It says there, "Fill not your heart with pain and sorrow, but remember me in every tomorrow. Remember the joy, the laughter, the smile. I've only gone to rest for a while. Although my living causes pain and grief, my going has eased my hurt and given me relief. So dry your eyes and remember me, not as I am now, but as I used to be. Because I will remember you all and look on with a smile, understanding your hearts. I've only gone to rest for a little while." And now I'd like to call on Jarvik Ramos, who will give the first eulogy of this evening.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming out here today. Thank you to the friends and family of my Lolo George here for coming. There's a lot of you guys here. I didn't expect a lot of people to be here, so it's really nice to see, to bring back the family together and see everyone. I know you guys seen me when I was a little baby, probably don't recognize me now, so it's really nice seeing everyone over here, and it really means a lot for you guys to come. All right. So if you don't know me already, my name is Jorvik Ramos. Jorvik Justin Villar Ramos is my full name, and my parents named me after my two grandpas, Jorge, George, and Victor. Ever since I was little, I remember visiting Lola and Lola's old house, and we would always have a great time over there. Joseph and I would play at his house, and he would always enjoy having us there. We would play outside of the park, across the street. We'd play Super Mario and Nintendo 64 in his room. I remember when Lola George would play his singing tracks out loud in the house, and we would hear him sing. I thought it was always funny to hear him, record himself and dance along to his own music. And I know now that our family got the music genes and talent from him. I know that Lola George was a great father. He raised 3 amazing children, one being my dad, and the others my very supportive and kind aunties. My dad would always say how hard Lola George was to him when he was being raised. I could see the similarities between him and my dad. Every time the family got together, he had the same smile, the same laugh, the same mannerisms. I know my dad took the best things that my Lolo used to raise his kids, and I hope to do the same with my future family as well. I want to share you the time that I visited Lola George for the last time. It was a Saturday morning, and I got a text from my sister and my dad who told me to visit my Lolo, and he wasn't doing well. I should probably go. I should go visit him. And right now, I'm currently first year in medical school, and sometimes it's hard for me to see my own family on the weekends because school has been very busy. And I knew then I needed to go and see him. I didn't know how he was at the time, and I'm really glad that I did. So I picked up my sister, we went and we met Auntie Cheryl at the ICU, and I walked in and I saw my Lolo. And then he saw me, his eyes lit up, and he asked me how everything is going. He was really strong and he was really brave at that time. And when I sat down, the nurse came by, my Lolo said to him, "Hey, that's my grandson, he's gonna be a doctor." And he was very proud. And at that time also, I wish I could have done something for him. I brought all my notes on the different types of treatment that I learned in the first semester and things that I can do for him. But I already knew when I got there the medical staff was doing everything that they can for him. And God knew that I was worried, but he also knew, he also reassured me that it was okay, and then I couldn't do anything really to treat him, and he was gonna be okay. I invited him to my wedding, and he said that he's excited to sing on my wedding. He was really excited. You could see his eyes. He's like, "Chriselle, let's go sing." Before we left, we prayed for him, and I told him, "I'll see you at my wedding, Lola. I love you." I'm very blessed that God left the door open for me to see Lola George one last time. I know we're all busy people. We have work, we have school, we have obligations. We need to provide for our own families. Lola's passing should remind all of us that everything on earth is temporary. We need to make the most out of every single day here and cherish the ones we love. We need to make time for family no matter how busy we get. I know that I'll become a better person, a better doctor, a better husband, a better everything because of him. And I hope to give that same best care that I can do for my future patients the same way the staff took care of him. I know that all of your grandkids will all do something amazing and positive on this world, and will keep your legacy alive. I want to thank you all for your support again. I know that the grandkids and myself will continue to make him proud. Again, my name is Jorvik. He's a reminder that he will always be here with us. Lola George, I hope that you're singing and dancing with the Lord in heaven. Thank you all for your love and kindness, and thank you for everything you've done for our family, Lola George. Rest in peace.
Thank you, Jorvik. May I call on Chriselle Ramos, and she will be followed by Joseph, Alfonso, and then Cheryl Ramos.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming together and being here for my Lola. I'm Chriselle Ramos. I'm Richard's daughter. I'm his only granddaughter from his children's side, and I can say I was blessed to have such a kind, loving, and talented grandfather. Looking back at the memories I had of him, I have so many of us singing together on the karaoke, and I think that's the main resource of where we all get our talent from. He's like the Filipino Elvis that we had looked up to, and it was in awe every time we heard him sing. As a little girl, he used to live close to us before, so I remember being at his house a lot with my kuya, and him and my Lola would watch over us all the time. We would even celebrate our birthdays together sometimes because it's both in February, 2 days after mine. He's so kind to his grandchildren, and I don't think I've ever seen him mad. He was always making everyone laugh, joking around with my dad and the family, and always dancing. My memories may not be as clear as time passes, but I'll never forget him being a huge part of my childhood and me growing up. Before his last days, I'm glad I had the chance to see him and visit him, even if it was for a couple hours. Even if I was at school, I would try to visit him, and because I'm so near, I'm glad that I got to see him. He was always so strong, and I knew that he wanted to keep fighting. I only wished for peace to be with him before he had left. I will always be grateful to have been blessed to have him as my dad's dad, and that he was chosen to be my Lolo in this one life. Every time I see my Lolo, I get reminded of my dad. So now every time I see my dad, I'll always remember my Lolo. I know that he's happily singing with our Father in heaven, and we'll be waiting until the day we all meet again. So thank you all for coming here and supporting our family and loving my Lolo. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Joseph Ramos Alfonso. I'm Cheryl's son. I wrote a long and brief version, but I'll go with the brief. This is my first real passing. I didn't really know what to say. All I know is that Lolo was one of the funniest persons I've ever met. He always brought a joke in any situation. One of the better storytellers that I've ever known. At family gatherings, I don't even understand Tagalog that much, but his reactions and his laughter was so genuine, it brought tears and laughter for me, and that's something I'll always remember. Lolo was someone I always relied on when I needed help. If I needed something at the house or needed my car fixed, I knew he was the one to call on. He wouldn't even let me help. I would just observe because he was such a hard worker. From observing, I learned so many things. There's so many things I learned and so many things I know just because of Lolo. I tried thinking of a cool story to share, something special, but I couldn't come up with anything. All I remember is just small things. I grew up and spent a lot of time at Lolo and Lola's house. I remember Lolo picking me up from school almost every day. And I was such a picky eater, all he would was make me bacon, and the house just smelled like bacon all the time. I remember Lolo, maybe once a week, would always take me to McDonald's. It would be the same Filipino worker, and he would bug that guy to give us free fries. I remember growing up, every day after school, I would play the remote control car. Me and Lolo would chase the dogs with it. It sounds cruel, but it was something fun that we shared. Like Jorvik said, I heard a lot of music in the house, and I always thought it was funny because 80% of the time it was just songs of Lolo singing to himself. I couldn't think of a special thing that I shared, but it's all these small, little, everyday rituals that I remember, and it's these small, little things I'll remember the most. That's all I have to say. I love you, Lolo. Thank you.
So proud of my son. He's a man of small words, and that's a lot from him. I know I knew he could do it. Thank you, Jessica. Well, firstly, thank you so much for coming. There's such a myriad of emotions that is going through with me, but know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Being here means a lot to me and my family, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you, A Living Hope, most especially, because, you know, we've been out of touch for many years, but we gathered like we never lost touch, and I appreciate that. And again, thank you so much for everyone, Tita Heli, Tita Elda, Jessica, and every friends and family. I don't want to miss anybody again. You know, there's a lot going on, so if I miss someone, I'm so sorry. But so I wrote something in a sense. I hope that it won't be so emotionally hard. So I have better days than this, and I wish that today was the kind of a day for all of us, a better day. But unfortunately, today it is not one of those right days. Sorry. Last Sunday, February 3rd, around 8:30, my dad went to be with the Lord and has left us. I've worked for hospice for 6 years. I've seen people pass away, consoled individuals and families, and I could not believe that last weekend the table was turned. Nothing and no one could console the grief I felt the time I saw my dad pass on. Reality had set in, and I knew that moment that I will no longer see, hear, touch, nor smell my dear dad. I immediately felt the void that he left with me. I will miss my dad very much. I will miss our jokes. He always plays with me. You know, there's so many jokes that we share, but I just want to highlight that we typically, well, we have a lot of jokes, but the most funny joke that happened was when he was, well, not the most funny, but he kind of jokes around my hygiene, as if I have poor hygiene. It's just because, you know, that's funny to him, and he would say, oh, you know, here, take a mid-breath or something like that. So when he was at the hospital, the nurse had mentioned, oh, Mr. Ramos, you know, there's a toothbrush and mouthwash. So the nurse left, and I told my dad, well, Dad, you should have told the nurse that you don't have an idea what toothbrush and mouthwash is all about, that you don't know how to use it, because typically, don't you just use a mint or a gum? So he started laughing, and he told me, no, I should have told the nurse that my daughter right there, she doesn't brush. You give her the toothbrush and toothpaste. So yeah, we go back and forth on that. So when he said that, I couldn't come back with anything. It was, you know, I'm like, okay, you have that moment. So I'll miss all the fun jokes that we share. I will be spending time with him, eating out, going to places. And I will miss our talks about, you know, example, corrupt politicians and talking smack about them. Those were good conversations, I believe. Saying that I will miss my dad is truly an understatement, especially since my dad spoke my love language, the love language which is acts of service. He always volunteers with all his heart to help me out at home. When, you know, I would want to, when I wash my car, I prefer going there because he has all the equipment, but at the same time I fear, because when I do, he just step up and say, no, I'll do it. But, you know, and I say, no, Dad, no, I'll do it, please relax. And then the next thing I know, he's there, you know, helping me. He is such a thoughtful person, a thoughtful individual, a thoughtful dad. It breaks my heart that I would not be able to spend time with him anymore. but my dad is with the Lord now. Our Lord was with him throughout my dad's entire life, and most especially through the times when my dad had struggled with his past illnesses and surgeries. I have seen how the Lord was faithful to him and to our family. It has been a rough few years for my dad, my mom, and the rest of us. But none of those hardships separated us from God's loving kindness. Our Lord has and will continue to be faithful, and his love will remain constant in all our lives. I want my son, my niece, and nephews to know that we will all face hardships in all various kinds. And I really want to encourage my son, my niece, and my nephews that if you have the Lord, he will never fail you. My son knows the challenges that we faced. Not only this, but I hope my son knows and realizes that God is constant, that he will always be there for us. So when I was writing this, I told my dad, Dad, I will do my best to honor you, but most especially, I want to give God the glory and honor, because without him, I would not be able to stand right now. I will not be able to have this kind of peace that I have. And so, I know that God's love will remain constant in all of our lives. And it is said in the Bible that anyone who trusts in him will never be disappointed or put to shame. So Dad, I will miss you. I will see you again. And when I see you, be prepared, because I will get back at you with our hygiene smack. It's not over. We'll go back and forth at each other for eternity. And it will be fun. And Dad, I intend to win, because you left me without a comeback. So I will see you again, Dad. I love you with all my heart. I miss you.
Thank you, Sarah. What Cheryl shared to us is that it's very true that Brother George is a handyman. He's an all-around handyman. He can work any kind of work, repair job in the house. And we were neighbors. And every time he needs something like a pliers, a small screw, or any tools, he would always call me, because he knows that I have those tools. And there was even a time, I remember, that he called me and he told me, Brother Tony, there is a possum under our house. Remember that, Sister Anita? And I said, how did it happen that there's a possum under your house? He probably left one of the guard rails, or we call it underskirt, open. And that's how the possum get in. And I told him there is a trick to drive out the possum. Just get some peanuts or crackers or cookies from the opening under your house. Put one, and then after about a feet, put another piece until it goes out. And the possum, when you're not there, it will follow you out. And then make sure that as the possum is out, then close the underskirt or the guard. The following day, he called me. I said, and I said, how is it, brother? Is the possum out? He said, no, the possum did not get out of under the house, but it brought with him, because of the food, it brought with him his wife. There are 2 more already left in there. That's true, isn't it, Sister Anita? And it was really a funny thing. So he's a funny guy, I tell you. So this time I want to call Jorvik Ramos to render us a musical number.